Good evening, everybody. It is Thursday, just one day away from Friday. I'm Matt Reagan.
And I'm student meteorologist Andreas Rondon.
It was a nice day. We're transition day. We had still a few clouds around, but tomorrow that's going to start changing.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to start changing. It's going to start clearing up a little bit. But you know what? The cold weather is here again.
That's right. We've seen a big shift in the pattern. The pattern's usually like what we like to talk about, the meteorology mumbo-jumbo for how things are going from day-to-day basis.
Proper terms.
Proper terms, of course. We'll be teaching you guys a lesson at the next desk on that. But really, tomorrow looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day.
Oh, tomorrow's going to end up shaping up to be very beautiful, but it is going to be cold, so make sure you have your jackets on and whatnot. Yeah,
I hope you guys didn't put away those jackets too soon, because we'll be bringing those right back out, especially tonight. Going to be a cool night. But, of course, we've got the whole show to talk about that.
Yes. So, speaking of those jackets, this weather we had this week is not really common weather for this time of year. It's supposed to be kind of chilly to cold, but take that dust off, because I know you gathered it up during the past couple of days.
Yeah, I know. I love the warm weather. And it wasn't even hot. It was just gorgeous outside. I mean, especially taking your talents to Landis, I suppose, for the warm days was really cool and a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun if you got to go to Landis. I'm unfortunately exam, so I was in the whole time. But you know what? I'll take this cold weather.
I'm sorry about that, but I think one thing can cheer you up a little bit. You're going to give us a quick little overview of the show.
I'm about to go do a little overview of the show right here. As you can see, we had this rain that came by this morning. It started off during the nighttime, but this morning we woke up to a little bit of showers and sprinkles and stuff. And you can see as the day went on, the cold front that brought all this rain moved on ahead, and we see clear sky. Well, they're going to start clearing up, but we see no rain behind this for right now. And that's good for us, because you know what? We kind of need the rain to move out a little bit. But zooming out, we can see that clearly see where the cold front's at right now. It's bringing a lot of rain through Jacksonville right here, and on further down south, as you go along the state, I-95, you got a lot of rain that's just coming down right now. It's going to be pouring. It's a slow mover, so just bear with time. It will move. It's just going to move a little bit slow. But for tonight here, locally in Tallahassee, it's going to be 35 degrees. It's going to be partly cloudy. The rain's going to be clearing out, as we said. It's going to be 40% chance of rain. And the winds are going to be out of the northwest at 5 to 15 miles an hour. And for the weather headlines, we see that we're going to have drier conditions on Friday. The lows are going to dip into the upper 30s, and it's going to be a sunny weekend ahead. And I can't wait, Matt, because this weekend is going to be awesome.
I agree with that. I'm really excited when you get back over here. We got something really cool to talk about here. And that's the change in this pattern. We were looking at that, one of our next graphics. If we can advance the graphics real quick to our overall national view, and we can advance it. There we go.
There we go.
That's kind of explaining a little bit what we've got going on here.
Yeah. As you can see, we have a trough, a trough in the upper atmosphere that's bringing a lot of this cold down our way.
Yeah, see that big dip there where that jet stream's coming down? Usually this time of year we see this type of pattern, and when we do see it, that cold air spills in behind the jet stream, and then you have the comfy and dry air over the western part of the United States, and that's where we're going to be seeing the Super Bowl. It's going to be gorgeous weather conditions out there.
Oh, it should be gorgeous weather conditions, and it's going to be awesome to watch. It's going to be even better to be there.
I wish I could be there, but
I
now,
wish I could be there too.
You know who is here? Ulises, to take a look at our local.
Yes, the almanac for today, we reached into the upper 50s today. The cloud cover remained all throughout the Big Bend. Averages way below the averages for this time of the year. Nowhere near our records, but the clouds were a big part to those temperatures being into those 50s. Currently in Tallahassee, it's 57 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies, so the sun is trying to break through right now in these final minutes before sunset, and those winds coming out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour thanks to that cold front passing through our area. Temperatures all throughout the Big Bend, very uniform into the middle 50s, but those temperatures are going to take a nosedive as we go into the evening hours, and they may go even quicker depending if the clouds fade out throughout the evening. When it comes to that satellite and radar, very beautiful throughout Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana, where some severe weather was reported just a couple of days ago. But towards the east, the frontal system is right now between Orlando and Jacksonville, Savannah. So I-95, a soggy commute all the way from Cape Hatteras all the way down to Melbourne. So just watch out and give yourself some extra minutes driving. Miami will eventually be getting into that rain by the time we go into our Friday. For the future cast, temperatures are going to take a dive into those mid to upper 30s. Even 20s are possible, but that's mostly going to be relevant if the cloud cover fades throughout the night. Temperatures can sink even further tomorrow. If the cloud cover continues to hang on just a bit, temperatures could even struggle just to hit to the low 50s. And by the time we get into our Saturday, temperatures will continue to go back down into those upper mid to upper 30s tomorrow. So just remember, sweaters are going to be your best friend for the next week or so, especially for this Super Bowl weekend. Tonight's temperatures are going to be 35 degrees. Any rain chances that we have are going to be very early on. The northwesterly wind's going to make that 35 degrees feel more like into the 20s. So just remember to have that heavy coat with you if you're going to go out tonight and into tomorrow morning for your workday commute. Tomorrow, 59 degrees. So those temperatures are going to rebound just a tad, but the cool air will hover with those northerly winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And when those temperatures could feel like more into the low 50s or even upper 40s. When it comes to the weather and what you're going to wear for this weekend, the jackets and the heavy coats are going to be your best friends, but also the sunglasses. It's going to be a lot of sunshine, beautiful weather all throughout. So if you're going to go play some Frisbee, it's a great weekend to do so. If you're going to go out, also great time to just watch the Super Bowl in general. But the next 7 days, the cool weather will be the main theme as we go into the second week of February. Temperatures are going to be below average all throughout, hovering into those 50s and low 60s. And those morning lows are even going to go below freezing by the time we go into the middle next week. And now we're going to turn it over to Colleen with a look at the southeast.
Yes, thank you, Ulises. The current conditions here in Tallahassee is 57 degrees and 81 in Orlando. There's a lot of warmer temperatures down in South Florida, but as this cooler air from this low pressure system comes in, it will bring cooler temperatures, might even get down below in the 30s as a low next week. We will keep you tuned in, but for now, it's 55 in Montgomery, 57 in Tallahassee. Cloud coverage all over most of the southeast area. And as we take a look into the 24-hour temperature change, see, yesterday there was only 1 degree temperature change, but now in Tallahassee there's a 15-degree temperature change. That is due to that cold air coming in. See, now New Orleans 7, Montgomery 7, Atlanta 8, but down in South Florida, Orlando 1, 3 in Miami, they're sitting pretty down there with warmer temperatures. And as we look into the current wind speed, it is 10 in Tallahassee, 20 in Montgomery. They're getting the first degree effects of wind chills up there, and 20 in Atlanta, 7 in Savannah. They should calm down as the low pressure system leaves the area. And as we look into the southeast radar, we see this system going up. That squall line will be dispersing out into the Atlantic soon, and the cloud coverage will disperse a lot as the week goes on, and it should be sunny all week next week. So, and now we look at the Futurecast radar from all day from Thursday into tonight, and looking into tonight, it will disperse and cloud coverage will go away going in tomorrow and for the rest of the week. And now as we look into Friday, once again, there is not a lot on the map. There's very, very sunny skies supposedly going to happen. Looking into Saturday, and a few dispersed showers over there in the Gulf, but not really much activity over Tallahassee, so we have nothing to worry about mainly for the most part. And as we look into Saturday, the airport delays, all green, all okay. If you're flying, it will be okay. And now we look into tonight's forecast. It is 33 degrees in Tallahassee, and tomorrow 59 degrees in Tallahassee. And the local radar, like I said, it is clear skies. And now we take it on over to the desk.
All right, thank you, Colleen. Right now, I'm going to be talking to you about something that we usually don't talk about during this time of the year, but it's about the tropics. A recap of last year of 2015. National Hurricane Center just did a reanalysis of Hurricane Patricia that affected Mexico back in October. And as of right now, the final analysis shows that the storm actually went into 215 miles per hour. Originally, it was about 205, 200 miles per hour. They reanalyzed it. Strongest hurricane in the Western Hemisphere after all the evaluations. It also has the second lowest pressure in the world 872 millibars, just 2 millibars shy of typhoon tip of 1979 to be the strongest globally, but very strong over Patricia. It was recorded at around 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time back on October 23rd at 215 miles per hour, about 130 nautical miles away from Manzanillo, Mexico. Also, the storm, during its path between October 22nd and 23rd, it went through rapid intensification, strongest intensification in the Western Hemisphere of 120 miles per hour. It beat Wilma by about over 10 miles per hour in 2005. But Patricia rapidly weakened as it hit the Mexican coast just about a day later until Category 4, but it's considered the strongest hurricane ever to landfall in Mexico. The second strongest hurricane was Hurricane Madeline of 1976 and the Manzanillo hurricane of 1959, which was actually reanalyzed by the National Hurricane Center earlier this month, and they actually reanalyzed it to the point where it actually was a Category 4 instead of a Category 5. But now we're going to send it over to Casey with a look of our local.
Thanks, Ulises. Let's get right into what's going on across our communities this evening. We do see 57 at this hour, mostly cloudy skies. 53% is that humidity. Not too big of a factor. Those winds are blowing just a little bit, 10 miles an hour. It is kind of been a murky type day around the area, and that's going to continue here into the evening hours before tomorrow. We really start to see clearer and nicer conditions. Earlier we did have some showers around, though. In the morning hours, early afternoon as well, we were tracking them to see how they moved across our area, but they moved out. They have seen almost 3 inches of rain here over the last 2 days combined, so quite a bit of precipitation here on campus and across the metro area. Now, as we broaden things out temperature-wise, pretty nice right now. Great weather conditions around. Just beautiful. We are seeing 57 in Tallahassee, 55 St. Mark's, 56 in Perry. Upper 50s, lower 60s are the story here. And as we get to your wind directions and winds, we do see 10 miles an hour right now. We're seeing here in Tallahassee 4 down towards St. Mark's. You get the idea. The winds in the lower are in about between 5 and 10 miles an hour here are that story. Now, as we go ahead and look ahead here over the next 48 hours or so, we do see what to expect across our viewing circle and across our viewing area, I should say, cold blast. We do see that starting to come in behind that front, making for great weather conditions here. Just beautiful around. Just go out and enjoy it. It's going to be a great weekend. A little on the cool side, but relatively nice around. And this cold blast, well, this is just a sign of things to come, because as we get later into the weekend, early next week, even a more reinforcing side of cool air will be making its way through. We might struggle to get out of the upper 40s by the time we get into early next week. It's going to be very cool around. Again, Saturday, really nice. Sunday as well. A few clouds starting to come back into the picture. But it'll be great to enjoy that Super Bowl Sunday as you do watch the Broncos take on the Panthers. Now, as we get in toward the weather situation for tonight across our area, we do see 35 in Tallahassee, 35 St. Mark's, a little cool, or a little warmer, I should say, down toward Franklin County. Rain chances there, again, probably not too big of a factor, though. A few showers possible in our easternmost areas. Can't rule out that possibility. And tomorrow, 59 for the high here in Tallahassee, 57 down toward the coast. Our 3 main coastal cities there will be sitting in that with that temperature. So, again, go out and enjoy it. It'll be nice and dry around. Getting away from all that rainfall we did see over the last several days, or at least yesterday and earlier on today. Now, your day planners, we get in toward what we're expecting for your Friday, 38 in the morning, 50 at noon, 55 at 5 p.m., and that 5-day forecast, well, we do see temperatures sitting really nice and relatively clear around our area. But right now, I'll go ahead and take it over for a national look at things with Ulises.
Hey, thank you, Casey. Nationally speaking, very cool air up to the north, 23 degrees in Denver, 36 in Albuquerque, 54 in Dallas. Very cool all throughout the country, but very uniformed as well with those 50s in the south and 20s in the north. Satellite radar shows a lot of cloud cover, especially over the northern half of the country. Snow all throughout the Intermountain West, some rain beginning to enter towards Seattle, and towards the east we do see some snow affecting into the Great Lakes region, and also that same frontal system that went over Tallahassee within the last 24 hours is now pushing towards the Atlantic coast, affecting the Carolinas and into the northern half of the Florida Peninsula. 24 hours see the warmth beginning to increase over the Midwest and into the western portion of the United States, and that's usually what happens when we get one of these cold fronts into the East Coast. The dip in the jet stream, that cool trough will eventually push all that cold air over the eastern half of the country, and that's going to be very noticeable for this weekend, while towards the west, temperatures will begin to rebound with all these oranges as you see in this map. The storms overall into the eastern portion of the country, Cape Hatteras, Jacksonville, Savannah, just a few of the towns that are right now receiving rain, but the rest of the Mississippi Valley and into the Central Plains, beautiful weather, cool temperatures as we go into our Thursday night, and even some snow showers over into the Cleveland area. Further out to the west, we do see that Seattle's getting some rain. There's also some flood advisories and warnings in effect. Winter weather advisories in effect into Idaho and parts of Utah, so Salt Lake City getting into that snow. You can see into Idaho, Montana. We also have high wind warnings into Montana and Wyoming, so very strong winds. So just remember, if you do drive around these interstates like Interstate 90, 94, even Interstate 80, give yourself extra caution over those mountains and valleys. Further out towards the east, we do have flood warnings in those local rivers due to all the recent waters from the rains in January and now early February. Just the amount of rain that has been received in the southeast has been incredible in the last 3 to 4 months. All those droughts that we had just a couple of months ago have long since faded. When it comes to those storm reports, none today, but yesterday we did have storm reports, 2 tornadoes, one in Lexington, South Carolina. It was an EF0, and also in Liberty, Georgia. The tornado touched down for 10 minutes, so it was an active day throughout the southeast. But today, good skies overall, and tomorrow we'll see those temperatures take a big dip, especially in the south. 25 degrees in Atlanta, so have that jacket with you. 11 in Minneapolis. By the time we go into the afternoon, temperatures are going to rebound to 59 degrees in San Francisco. So if you're traveling to Super Bowl 50 for this weekend, good weather over there, but temperatures are overall going to be really cool as we go into our Saturday as well. Airport delays, none whatsoever, except for New York City with 83 minutes. Temperature is going to be on the cool side, a lot of 20s all throughout, so coats will be necessary. And tomorrow, those temperatures are going to rebound just slightly with a warm spot at 70 in Phoenix. But now we're going to send it over to Colleen.
Thanks, Ulysses. Now, for all those Super Bowl fans out there, I have the weather report for you. Now, normally, El Nino is a warming of the waters in the eastern Pacific, causing more activity around the nation with weather patterns, causing more rain. Now, luckily, there has been a halt in that system. Throughout the past couple of years, there has been a lot of droughts in California, but luckily it has been replenished with water. This weekend, there has been an upper level system in the jet stream, allowing the high pressure system to stay around, causing for warm temperatures that result in no rain at all. So it will be 72 degrees and clear skies with a light breeze. That sounds like a great time to watch the Super Bowl. Now, El Nino normally causes a lot of rain in Southern California, so luckily this weekend it cleared up for us. And if you didn't know, the Super Bowl is going to be played by the Broncos versus the Panthers. Personally, I would like to see Manning come up on top, and it will be at the Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Again, sunny skies with light winds. Now, normally a brief history on Peyton Manning's successes in the past Super Bowls. This will be his 4th game that he is going to, but he has only had 1 victory back in 2007, and that was against the Colts when the Colts beat the Bears 29-17. And that was notable for rain. That game was very notable for rain. So luckily, maybe this year he'll win and it will be a sunny day. Now let's take it on over to Andres for a look around Florida.
Thank you, Colleen. And as you can see right now here in the Sunshine State, we can see that it's 57 here in Tallahassee, 55 in Jacksonville. And if you look, pay attention really closely to this map, and it's going to be a continuing theme here in this segment for a second. Look where the temperature differences are. And you can tell right here, you can probably bet a good bet that the cold front's right there. It's a big difference between the warm weather we have towards the south and a little bit cooler to colder weather up toward as you go north. But for the most part, the Sunshine State has seen a lot of rain today, as you can see right here. this cold front that's coming through right now through Jacksonville. It passed us earlier, and now we're getting into the clear where the clouds are going to start moving out again. But for the most part, this slow-moving system has brought rain after rain after rain to areas that have seen rain pretty much for the past day. But it's going to continue on until the system moves out. Hopefully during the weekend, it'll be completely out of here. But as you can see in the 24-hour temperature change that we have, look at this really, really light purple color that we have. You can tell where the system has now just gotten to compared to this time yesterday, because the 24-hour change. It's 18 degrees here negative 18 here in Jacksonville, minus 15 in Tallahassee. And as you look a little bit towards the west, towards Pensacola, it's only minus 2. So you can see exactly where the last 24 hours this system has slowly moved its way on towards the east. But if you look on down south in Miami, those areas, they're a little bit warmer than they were yesterday. So, but if you look at the dew point, currently it's 36 here in Tallahassee, and it's 54 in Jacksonville. So all this moisture is moving away from us, and the egg factor that we had yesterday is moving with it. But the current winds, they're out of the north at 13 miles per hour here in Tallahassee, Tampa 16, and Fort Myers is out of the south. So you can really see where the wind change is happening, and that puts a front right about here in the sunshine state of ours. And it's just beautiful whenever you know when you can look at a map and just know where exactly where everything is at. And it's speaking again right here, you can see that the front right here is about North Florida. And just moving on into, tomorrow morning, Friday, you can see that the colder temperatures, they're calling for 28 around 7 o'clock in the morning. We'll be lucky if we reach that, but it is going to be cold, so make sure you have your jackets and if you want to put on a little scarf, go ahead and put it on. We're going to need it in the morning. But as we move on in throughout the day, it's going to warm up to about 50 around 3 o'clock. And Saturday morning's going to get cold again. There's cold weather sticking around, so make sure you just stay on with your jacket, because you're going to need it. But moving on into Saturday night, the colder weather is just going to stay around. But for tonight, it's going to be 33 here in Tallahassee, 37 in Jacksonville, 47 in Orlando. That colder air is going to start creeping its way on down that way. And on into Friday, it's going to be 59 here in Tallahassee, 54 in Jacksonville, 70 in Miami. They're going to be the envy of the whole state. And into Saturday, it's going to be 60 here in Tallahassee, 78 in Miami. It's just going to be very, very beautiful. So, but for right now, I'm going to pass it off on to Casey.
Thanks so much, Sarah Andre. So let's get right in now to the weather situation across the weather. Well, in the southeast, of course, we had that severe weather yesterday that Ulises was talking about earlier in southeast Georgia. They've really been affected pretty significantly there by some tornadoes. There was even an EF1 reported near Hinesville in Liberty County, Fort Stewart. A tornado touched down there near Gate 7, in fact, and it was on the ground for about 10 minutes, caused quite a bit of damage. Now, an EF1 tornado, this has winds between 86 and 110 miles an hour, so a pretty significant tornado, especially for this part of the country. You don't normally see tornadoes too often in the south, but with the El Nino pattern in place that Colleen touched on earlier, we're starting to see that happen a little bit more around here, so that's something this year at least you need to keep tuned with and make sure you have those severe weather plans in place, tornado safety tips as well on hand, making sure you go to that interior room if a warning's issued. There were also quite a few other tornado warnings around for Doppler radar indications of rotation near Savannah, but we did not get any reports of those actually touching down, so that's a little bit of good news at least in towards some of those communities in parts of southeast Georgia and in that area that's covered by the National Weather Service in Charleston, South Carolina. That covers parts of that Savannah area up toward Charleston as well. Now, one thing I want to touch on here, just give you a quick preview of, is tomorrow a very exciting segment here on FSU Weather, Sports Weather. Jay Carsons and I will be breaking down the big game between the Denver Broncos and the Carolina Panthers, the weather involved with that, some of the other aspects as well, looking ahead, even some game predictions there. So that should be really exciting. Tune in tomorrow night at 6 for that. It'll be a great segment, great show as well. It's National Weather Person's Day. But right now, we'll go ahead and take it over to the wall where Colleen is standing by.
Thanks, Casey. Now let's take a look at today's almanac, February 4th. The high today is 58 and the low is 55. Back in 1932, it was a warm day at 83. We would be lucky if we see that recently. Okay, let's now take a look into current conditions. It is 57 in Tallahassee, 54 in Valdosta, all the way in Panama City, 56. Now, all around Florida, it seems to be a lot of cloud coverage, creating those low temperatures to come in throughout tomorrow and the remainder of the week. Now, as we look into the satellite and radar, see that all that cloud coverage, and as that system disperses out over into the Atlantic, we see a lot of clear coverage coming in Tallahassee, and it will clear up soon. Just wait until the rest of the week. As you see this 7-day, there is a lot of sun coming up into the radar. And the current winds, it is 13 in Tallahassee, 3 in Valdosta, and 17 in Dothan. Up north, there's a lot of wind sustained up there, but luckily in Tallahassee, it is only 13, and it will only be decreasing over time. Now, looking ahead into the Thursday, we look into that low pressure system and that cold, bringing a lot of cold air after following, with that high pressure system slightly above it, creating that cold blast of air. Yes, it will be very cold, and that groundhog lied, because winter is not over just yet. And as we now look into Saturday, is that cold blast still lingers in there, as this is kind of like a stationary kind of cold front, as we will see. And now Friday's seaside forecast, it is 20 miles per hour from the northeast with a surf 4 to 5 feet. It's a little bit choppy due to that 13 miles per hour wind. Not windy enough to go kiteboarding, but maybe sailing. Now the water will be 58 degrees Fahrenheit. That is pretty chilly. I would definitely be precautious about wearing a bikini over a wetsuit. And 6 UV, not that bad. And now the boating forecast for Friday, it's 4 to 5, choppy waters, but it is sunny, and the 20 knots from the northeast. That is kind of windy, so be careful out there. And now tonight in Tallahassee, it is 40% chance of rain, partly cloudy, but the rain will be clearing out as we see that cold temperatures move in, and it will be getting more dry as that trough becomes coming in. Now Friday outlook is partly cloudy skies, 59 degrees, drier conditions. And now as we take a look into the week ahead, we have this 7-day forecast. Like I said, there are sunny skies ahead of us. But now let's take it on over to Andres and Matt at the desk to finish on up.
Yes, thank you, Colleen. And what's a groundhog's name again?
Puxatawny Phil.
You know what? He needs to reevaluate his career choice, because you know what? It's cold.
I agree. I don't know where he got his meteorology know-how from. I'm not sure if he did, but if we're going by him, it's getting pretty cold again.
Yeah, it is getting pretty cold. But you know what? I love the cold weather, so I'm kind of glad he was mistaken, because I like this cold weather.
Yep. But one thing, we do have a preview of that cold weather here once more with our 7-day to wrap up the show. Really cold, bitter cold weather coming in next week.
Oh, we're going to have a stronger front that's going to come in, and look at that, Wednesday night, 29 degrees.
Yeah, we're going to be well below freezing, so we'll be watching out for those freeze watches in some portions of the city. Should be a very cold night. You're going to be wanting to get those jackets out. And also take care of your pets, too. The furry ones, they need a little love when it gets really cold out, because they get cold just like us.
Oh, yeah. You know, if you're cold, then they're definitely going to be cold as well. So don't think that just because they have fur, they're going to be okay.
Yeah, well, Facebook, we're always there. Twitter, we're on social media everywhere. We remind you every night because we want you to stay connected. We're everywhere, /FSU Weather. We're also on Instagram as well, so if you want to send us in some pictures, we can post them, and you can see them.
Yes, please, send us some pictures, because we love to see them. I know you've taken quite a bit.
I've taken quite a few pictures, and I'm just excited for tomorrow's sports segment. We'll see you tomorrow night.
See you.